Rollmonger's actual Podplay podcast is proud to present. No, you're killing me.
I'm sorry. I had trouble with that. You should. I told my wife I'm going to send you guys the unedited tape of her doing this, and she gets so mad. It's funny. Anyway.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Rollmonger's actual Podplay podcast is proud to present Star Wars Saga Edition, Dawn of Defiance campaign, starring GM Jeff as narrator and game master. And that's all I have. I have to scroll down because it won't show me it all. Here we go. With players Matt Witt, Ryan... Oh, man, I'm all screwed up now.
Messina.
I don't know how to say it.
Just the name here. What's going on? Messina.
Hey, now.
Messina. Okay. I can say it.
Starring GM Jeff Ball as narrator and game master. With players Matt Witt, Ryan Messina, Aiden Willems, Jeff Tamlin, and Frank Hamilton.
Jay Tamlin.
Jay? Jeff? Too many Jeffs and Jays and Jacks. Oh my god, I suck at this.
You're awesome. Go ahead.
I know read. I'm no good with the words.
You're doing way better than the rest of us.
All right. Make sure I've got it all. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Rollmonger's actual play podcast is proud to present Star Wars Saga Edition, Dawn of Defiance campaign. Starring GM Jeff Ball as narrator and game master, with players Matt Witt, Ryan Messina, Aiden Willems, and Jay Tamlin, and me, Frank Hamilton.
So, finally, a beautiful, quite attractive, middle-aged woman emerges from the front of the ship, confidently striding down the main hall, and greets you gentlemen in the common room at the back of the center of her ship. Sticking out one hip, placing a hand on it, and with a wicked smile, she says, "Welcome to the Banshee, gentlemen. Next destination, Alderaan."
Thanks for the lift. May I mention something about credits? And I don't know if you can tell me, but what the heck is going on here? We picked up a body.
She scowls at you and says, "My name is Sirona O'Keefe. You can call me Captain O'Keefe," she says flatly, obviously indicating that she's not very pleased with the sudden turn of the polite conversation going to money and business. Maya works for my benefactor, part of the royal family of Alderaan. I assure you, gentlemen, if Maya promised you credits, her word is good, and I will deliver you to your money, if that's what you wish. As for the cargo, leave it alone. It now belongs to me, and you are my passengers. When we get to Alderaan, my benefactor will explain things. In the meantime, you have the run of the ship on the main deck. The bridge and the cargo bay are off limits. The escape pods are here, she says, actually pointing to the door immediately on her left, and here, pointing to the door immediately on her right, and sort of sways back and forth like she's making fun of ye old stewardess days. She says, there are bunks behind me, and there's a refresher, as well as offices that you gentlemen can use if you care not to stay within one another's company. And turning on her heel, she marches right back through that main door and leaves you guys on your own.
Rahal excuses himself, goes to the refresher, and refreshes.
Okay. You will find her.
Takes off the Imperial officer's uniform and stows it in his gear.
Okay.
That might come in handy later.
All the private rooms, the bunks as it were, have small bathrooms in them, refreshers. So there's a desk. It's like a little motel room. 3 of them. Quite luxurious, really, by standards, considering how huge they are. Each room is like 15, 20 feet wide, 15 deep on one wall with the refresher, 10 feet deep on the other wall with a bunk. Double bed is built in. There's 3 rooms, all identical. The 4th room is actually the medical bay.
Rahal claims the one closest to the bridge.
Okay.
Across the hall from the medical room.
Well, if nobody minds, I'm going to head off, try to find a place here. That lady was about as fresh as a week-old sock.
She certainly didn't like the first impression that Rahal started off with, but what can you do?
She doesn't know me yet. I'm an acquired taste.
To know you is to do business with you.
Wait, so which room are you in, Rahal?
The one that's across the hall from the medical bay.
This one up here.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at Merrick and be like, do you want the couch? Or should I take it?
Couch. This is luxury. I need floor. Floor is good.
Okay. Draw your attention to the top left of the map, gentlemen. You will see that I have revealed not only certain areas of the main ship, but areas on the key, showing you what's what, as it were.
Yeah.
At least the rooms you have access to. Okay?
Cool.
Now, heading down the stairs, you guys will actually find that from this point on, the stairwell is open so you guys can get to the guns, but the doors to the cargo bay are now locked, and you would have to do something besides easy access to get through them.
Well,
So-
that just seems rude.
Well, there goes my plans for sleeping down there.
Well, she doesn't know you, and at first glance suddenly doesn't trust you.
And she's right not to.
Hey, I haven't done anything wrong yet. Except possibly kill an innocent guy.
Yeah.
But hey, you're the one that called the order.
Hey, no right answers here, boys. You guys play your characters as you wish, and the NPCs will act according to their likes and dislikes and basic small paragraph personality that I was given, with a little bit of embellishing on my side. So, gentlemen, is there anything you wish to accomplish while finally left alone in private rooms all by yourself with your own personal gear and attachments and such?
Well, I'll call Merrick in and we'll sort through the duffel bag and finally find out how many credits we nabbed from the mobster.
Okay. Merrick, you want to go count the money?
It sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
I have used much ammunition. I need to recoup it.
Okay. So you guys start counting your ill-gotten gains. Dr. Leth has moved into the medical bay, so I'm assuming you're trying to, relax as you can, but try and keep an eye on your patient.
That and setting up a research station.
Okay. Pozer.
It's like a pop-up research station. It's like his briefcase. He flicks it, and like the legs come out of the bottom, and like it folds out 5 times each direction.
Here you go. Make yourself to home. Old man Zim. Nice room to yourself?
Yeah. He reaches into his coat and pulls out a small flat-screen data pad and unwinds the cable, plugging it into a data port, and tries to access any news feeds just to see how big a blip on the radar we have become.
Okay. Now, assuming the captain possibly may or may not be alone, you can always ask R4. She probably has a way to restrict Wi-Fi or, would possibly be alerted in the bridge if you guys tried to hack the ship. However, this being a space yacht, it has televisions, like mini bar fridge, and Wi-Fi like right in the rooms. You know what I mean? So you have no problem getting access to sort of the outside world.
Yeah, I'm just trying to pull up any kind of space station news feeds.
Yep.
See if there's any kind of alerts. An Amber Alert has come out.
A missing baby Jedi was last seen smuggled in a case and it's now disappeared from Zelzon Station. Amber Alert.
Yep.
Okay. Lots going on in the galaxy. Take you a while to spread through it, but so far you haven't found anything about Zelzon Station. Gentlemen, you're counting your gotten gains. Dr. Leth is busy, which brings us to Pozer, who's enjoying the rec room, and R4, who is in the little kitchenette, puttering away and whistling at something. Pozer, what are you doing?
I guess probably just strumming on my guitar, just trying to relax a little bit, calm down after everything that just happened.
Okay.
It's literally just been, we hit this station and it's just go time.
All right. Do you speak binary?
No, I do not.
Okay. R4 comes out, and he whistles and beeps in tune to your music, possibly indicating that he likes it, and actually hands you a drink that he must have prepared in the kitchenette.
Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Sorry I can't understand you. And I'm going to take a sip of it.
Okay.
Fortitude save.
Just thinking
Bringing up my character sheet just in case.
Dark side point for R4 the droid. 1 down. Murder.
Can droids get dark side points?
Murder on the Banshee. They don't call this the Banshee
yeah,
forever.
they can.
What's that?
droids can get dark side points.
Yeah, characters that are not force sensitive can get dark side points. It's not just you turning to the dark side. It's people just, getting nastier and nastier. Anyone that crosses their own wisdom threshold with DPs surrenders their character to the GM. Now, there are optional rules about playing dark side, but in the campaign in the Rebellion era, they're pretty specific about, stay on the light side. Some people are gray. Some people have dark side points and force points that all go together. But if you get as many dark side points as you have wisdom, you're mine. And if you're a force user, well, there's some lovely contacts of amber yellowy color that go in your eyes, and for some reason you're really pissy about your own friends, and you get into all kinds of issues and hunt them down. And but other characters just walk off into the sunset and quit their being heroes and run off and be not so nice people controlled by me.
Aha! But we're not heroes.
That's true. Never were. But currently, on record, you guys don't have any dark side points. Some of you came very close, as this is sort of possibly a fresh start, a new chapter in the galaxy, fresh destinies. Now, you guys can actually complete your destinies and actually get new ones. Just so you know, you can actually fulfill your destinies secretly given by me and get new ones and start down that path. And if you guys
if we stumble across fulfilling our destiny, you'll be like, oh, and by the way, your destiny has been fulfilled.
Something like that, yeah.
Bing!
That's right. You get a destiny point every level. And if you fulfill your destiny, you can actually give your destiny points one each to other players. You can also take steps towards your destiny and get bonuses. Every destiny has bonuses and penalties. So, just for example, let us say that I smote one of you guys or more of you guys with the Discovery Destiny. What you're doing now, perhaps taking her, Maya's benefactor, up on a possible offer coming your way and going off on a personal mission for him, would be a step closer to that destiny, and you guys would get the Discovery Destiny bonus and have 24 hours of enjoying that bonus because you're going the way the galaxy wished you to go, and it likes you and gives you bonuses for 24 hours. If you guys kind of do a 180 and you were secretly assigned or had chosen a destiny and decided to play in character that you're going away from that, then you get penalties. Now, this could be possibly like, playing a certain character class and denying what you are or what it is. Multi-classing into a second class and embracing it, that's fine. But staying within one character class and not acting as such, I don't mean like you can play a character however you want, but if there's certain things that certain character classes are supposed to do, off the top of my head, the only one I could think of is, let's say, Pozer, right? He's a force user. Now, it doesn't matter if he's light or dark. It doesn't matter if his destiny is to destroy something, discover something, recover something, rescue something. Those are player actions that lead him in and out of his own destiny. But if he cranks 5, 6 levels, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels of force user and never uses his powers, sits on them while leveling, that is a direct conflict of, destiny itself, and he's just going to constantly rack penalties for that kind of thing. Anyway, but that's debatable, and the emails will come flood. Your thoughts, your comments, and possibly ways you might have adapted this rule set. Not complete homebrew, but something that might make sense. Email us at rollmongers@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Perhaps Old Man Zinn will catch you on his holo feed and tell you what he learned. And we'll mention you in-game. But for right now, I'd like to check back in with Pozer. This guitar of yours that you strum, that serves as a weapon, which you're having trouble wielding.
Yes.
You said you use it to de-stress.
Yep.
Okay. Now, being a custom guitar, I'm assuming it constantly needs maintenance?
Somewhat regularly, yeah.
Well, it's a weapon that doubles as an instrument. I'm assuming it's a delicate balance between the two, constantly,
I mean, yeah, it's one of those I have to retune every time I want to play.
Yeah, and possibly replace parts and stuff, like a battle, string snapped, came loose, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Now, a guitar itself may be easy to replace like strings, but the more you take this into combat, the further and further away we're going to get from the original custom guitar that it was supposed to be. You know what I mean? If you change those Fendarius strings that were meant for the Fendarius with just Kmart stuff, then, the next guy looks at it, it's going to be, no, that's not,
Well, yeah, of
that
course.
kind of thing. So you could possibly invest credits into keeping its upkeep, getting the rare parts and that kind of thing. So, be that as it may, after giving you a drink and beeping and whistling along with your music, R4 seems to want something from you. He's got his little pincers out, and he's coming forward, and he's, making little grabby motions at you.
All right.
Looking down, tilting the entire body so that it looks like his head looks down at your lap and at the guitar, and back and forth, and whirling and beeping away.
All right. I'm gonna open up the comm channel and be like, Dr. Leth, can you come out here? I need a translator.
Buy one. I'm a bit busy at the moment. If there's something you need, come to me.
So Pozer is going to get up and walk into the medical bay. I assume R4's coming along?
So you head off to the medical bay?
Yeah.
Finally, R4 relaxes in your spot, has the entire rec room to himself, picks up your drink that you left.
That son of a bitch.
No, he comes, he follows along. Tempting. All right. So R4 comes in. He's very excited.
What can I do for you?
Your droid buddy is trying to tell me something, and I don't know binary. Would you mind translating?
What have you done this time, Arthur?
I scanned his equipment, his custom weapon. There are rare, trace valuable elements in it that he's currently not using.
Trace elements, you say? Do you know what kinds?
Some sort of rock crystal formation? I just wanted to see what it was.
Do you keep stones in your weapon?
I realize I might have actually set this up a little bit too far on Aiden. He's probably screaming his mic going, "What are you doing?"
Oh no, mentally I'm totally doing that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, Pozer's going to kind of stand there and look shocked for just a brief second and be like, yeah, just some random rocks I found.
Apparently they're quite rare.
With the audio.
You really don't have to get into this now, man.
I'm just kind of commenting on the fact that he has rare elements.
No, you're fine. I just feel like I'm pushing Pozer into something that, if you want to.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
I got it.
All right.
It's fancy bedazzling.
No, they help with the audio, the reverberation and whatnot through the guitar. So.
Oh, now that is an intriguing idea. If you don't mind, I should like to do a bit of research on that topic. I'll need to do a bit of pre-searching myself, but I'll have if you don't mind, I'd like to get back to you on that one. Turns to his computer chip.
Take your time. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, and there's really no rush. I don't need to know what they are. They work, so, and they haven't given out on me yet.
Well, I mean, there may be other elements that would help.
I mean, if you could find a element that helps, then I would definitely replace them. But I think it's good where it's at. I like the sound quality. What do you think?
He starts making horrible noises with his guitar.
Personally, it's not my cup of tea. Also, you may end up waking Maya. But as I say, I shall get back to you.
Got it.
Maya groans and lifts her hands, and almost like her thumb and pinky are sticking out, but doesn't quite get up in the air, and then just turns over and falls asleep.
Oh, it's index finger and pinky, not thumb and pinky.
I'm unconscious. Give me a break.
I'm a metalhead. I'm not going to. Actually, I'm a conehead.
There you go.
But,
Rahal, Merrick, in the prologue episodes, which we possibly will reveal in the future of this podcast, raw footage or possibly edited. Stay tuned to find out how and where and why you can access that. You gentlemen had tracked down another gentleman that ran a club. In the back, he was running private gambling with a few local gangsters on the surface world of Brenthal. You guys managed to muscle, bribe, beg, diplomacy, persuade, and steal your way into this game. And in the midst of it, all hell broke loose in the club. And taking advantage of the unconscious man that owed you money, something that Merrick was the cause of, the gangster deciding to ignore you guys, the money on the table, and leave for his own safety, getting into his VIP armored vehicle and leaving the establishment that was being raided, you guys decided to scoop up a crap load of credits and chips that were on the table and have been hiking it around in this large duffel bag ever since. And now comes down to the counting. Woo! Did I miss anything?
No, it was pretty accurate.
Okay. In Pathfinder, there is appraise. In this game, we have perception, I guess is the closest thing. And rare as it might be, today I'm going to call on you gentlemen to make perception rolls.
Okay.
Perception of 19.
Merrick?
A perception of 12.
Merrick, it's a good day. There are hundreds upon hundreds of chips, and each bar represents X amount of credits. As far as you're concerned, this is a good haul. Rahal, these casino backroom private chips, as it were, are inlaid and plated with a precious metal that is still worth money in the galactic core, but they're actually a counterfeit, like an actual poker chip representing money. So imagine a poker chip that somebody gold plated just to make it look like a fancy poker chip, as opposed to using real gold bars to bet with, real credits to bet with. And you estimate, much to your frustration, after counting these out and finding some with scratches that you missed and the stuff peeling off, that if you salvage the precious metals from these huge duffel bag full of them, you might have a couple hundred measly credits to account for, and that's it.
This is bullshit! He kicks the bag across the room.
Hey, easy. You have anger issues, Ral. What is going on? Is it good?
These are crap. Merrick. Ugh, I never even thought of this. Unless we was planning on taking them right back to the gambling house we stole them from. These are basically worth, I don't know, maybe 200-300 credits, tops. And that's just on their pure value of the material. They're counterfeit. And I hold up a credit and peel back a little corner off of it to show them.
Camera pans out to our final room, where we have Old Man Zim. Old Man Zim. Scout, traveler, friends made, friends lost, survived the far too long Clone Wars, learned how to make a buck in the galaxy, down on your luck. Not much to your possession except for memories and your rifle. Don't know who these people are. Don't completely trust them. Fell into them. Now you know you're on a very luxurious yacht on your way to Alderaan to meet somebody's benefactor that possibly wants more from you. That's the long game. The short game comes straight across your holo feed. Nothing about Brental. Nothing about us. Nothing about gangsters. But they are always renewing the bounty on Jedi. And they show pictures of Jedi from their records after purging the temple, descriptions, possible hairdos, height, weight, probable age, race. Ones that are dead, they're not going to show you, but ones where they never found the body, 3 months later, after shooting them all up and all that kind of thing, they've kind of gotten around to like, oh, all the Jedi's got into hiding, so they're starting to go get smarter. They go back into records. They start, did we find this guy's body? Was this person with this person? Did this master get away? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Public enemy number 1, a small, green, long-eared creature that goes by the name Master Yoda. This guy's worth a lot of money, and it goes down a list. Jedi Masters, Jedi that were out in the world, Jedi they haven't started getting yet, and they're just putting this information out there. Now, these guys all dress in robes, and a lot of them look the same. So for your convenience, they've sort of derobed them, and they're putting them in outfits. Your Jedi could be hiding as a engineer. Your Jedi could be hiding as a pilot, putting helmets on them, blah, 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 right? Even changing headgear or whatever.
So what's a bottom tier Jedi worth?
The DM slides you a piece of paper. Lots of money. The Empire will pay a lot of money if you can prove they are one. When they try to escape, use force powers, or apparently they have ways of, testing the force on these guys, or, guys with lightsabers, that kind of thing. Lots and lots of money. Tempting anyone. Anyway. Yeah, now to you, this is yesterday's news. This has been going on for months. They're really pushing it because it's not so far off the Colonial Wars. They've shifted their focus to like, hey, the Republic has won. We are the Republic again, not just Clone Wars. The Separatists are down, and we are doing this, and fight for your freedom. They have all this propaganda posters everywhere. this guy show you a TIE fighter pilot. He's flying for you. Support the Empire.
Yeah.
Obey this stormtrooper. He fights for you. All that propaganda crap, right? They're new
over the top Starship Trooper kind of.
Yes, exactly.
Want to know more?
Want to know more? Your friend could be a Jedi.
Yes.
Click here.
Now, something interesting, though, they are smart enough that the hollow feed way, way, way out in the outer rim would show people that they believe were last seen there, right? I mean, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of Jedi, and you're close to core world, they'd have to show you everybody. So it's not really logical to like just give you a million faces to look at, right? So at the top of each list in the hollow feed are ones that were like, last seen within a system, last seen within so many systems. You know what I mean? How far could a guy in the run get in 3 months kind of thing? Pretty far if you're on a ship or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like the guys that were operating in the core worlds, they have a list of Jedi and their associates and friends and blah, blah, blah. And they have bounties for them, apprentices, the whole bit. Ones that were like, did a lot of work at a temple and the outer rim, then that will be out there, right? So anyway, since you're in the core worlds, the core world feed or that type of thing is prominent on your hollow feed. And in it, like I said, blah, 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 blah. All the feeds, though, Master Yoda, Public Enemy #1, we want them really bad. They're also looking for a human General Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, like I said, the Jedi, you put robes on them, they all look the same. You take the robes off, this and this and this, and Jedi come from all races. But there is one thing that I'm going to leave you with that's a little peculiar. Near humans look very human, but the ones that have very distinguishing features, such as yourself, yellow eyes, extra hair, a really unusual skin tone, like the bright green or the blue people, like the Chiss, that kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. Those numbers getting into the Jedi are far fewer. We get into a dozen that are known, that get past the training, that type of thing. Jedi come from all walks of life. But when you line them all up in a room and the common denominator are robes and a lightsaber, not the race, you take away all the humans, then, two Ithorians, the very rare exception of a crazy Ewok shaman, this type of thing, it really narrows the list, plus narrowing it down into the core worlds. So when there's pictures of maybe half a dozen Syrians, and 2 of them, one male, one female, would approximately look in the picture about the age of your new companion, kind of makes you wonder about what you saw and experienced earlier in that docking bay. You lived through the war.
When I see it.
Yeah, well, you've seen Jedi. You've seen them fight. So, starting back with Rahal and Merrick, counting the money, Rahal got pissed off. What do you gentlemen do during your ride?
Feed myself, clean myself, change my clothes, wash any of my suits or dispose of any of my suits that have been damaged by weapons fire.
Oh, no, here's something interesting. We always pictured you in the one white suit. You actually have multiple suits of clothing in your gear.
Multiple white suits.
Yeah,
it's all the same suit.
Sorry, right? Okay, all the exact same suit. He just has like he's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or star date, all the way down. That's great.
It's actually just 3 suits that he can turn inside out, giving him 6 suits in total.
White with black pinstripes, white with heavy black pinstripes, and a straight white suit for special occasions.
Yes.
Yes.
And also I tuck away the Imperial Informant's uniform that I pilfered on Zelzon Station for perhaps later use.
Yeah, it's really just a coat. It's an all-encompassing dark charcoal gray sort of trench coat number that goes from high collar, top nape of your neck, all the way down to practically calf level and just drapes over you like this big coat. It's a one-piece uniform, like, bam. I'm willing to sell out my countrymen to the Empire.
Yep.
Well, at least on Zelzon Station. Not sure if this is abroad. It might be something I want to look into.
You're right.
Merrick, not feeling up to par, buddy. When Dr. Leth treated you, you guys burned through quite a few med packs. Unsuccessfully.
The bleeding has stopped mostly. My shirt has absorbed most of my blood.
Rawl.
Yes.
Give me a knowledge bureaucracy roll about that uniform.
Okay. Knowledge bureaucracy 10. Do I know if it's a standard uniform?
Yeah, it's like it could be easily recognized. It might be tailored a little bit differently as you go from system to system, but the galaxy on the whole will lump you in with the Empire, and Empire agents, stormtroopers and stuff viewing you wearing this coat will at least initially believe you to be at face value, an informant.
Perfect.
So, getting back to our medical situation, Merrick.
It's not that bad. I'm more concerned about loss of explosives and loss of blood.
Okay. Old Man Zin. Oh, sorry. Let's pause Old Man Zin. Dr. Leth,
Yes.
you were setting up a research lab. Now, we haven't gone into your gear since the initial pilot episode where young Lieutenant Carstairs ripped through your gear. What if you got in there? Like, do you actually have lab equipment and actually have, like, I know you've spent a ton of money on doctor weapons, on scientific stuff and gear and equipment instead of the usual armor weapons and such whatnot that most characters go for.
Actually, I have a micro lab.
Is that like a micro bar
sensor?
where, like, instead of a great big beaker, everything's like, mini bar and Vegas size? It's got all these little tiny test tubes and little tiny, all fit one suitcase.
Yeah, like you remember way back. You remember those kid toy versions of like a chemistry lab or a chemistry set? Imagine that, but actually scientifically valuable.
Everything with the 1-inch pill bottles. That's great. He's got like a little WOM. He gets like captures a little WOM rat or something. Actually, it was about a meter. That's too big. Some kind of vermin, puts it in the little side wheel that powers everything.
He's got the Jacob's ladder off in the corner.
Yep. No batteries required, because this way it works in EMP conditions and any terrain, even mudball planets that have no electricity. Instead of a power pack, you just find some local vermin and jam it in the wheel and hang the cheese and off it goes. Powers the electricity.
Or just have Arthur just kind of like sit on it and just kind of spin.
Yeah, or you could plug him in. I guess you could plug it. There is a port. You could plug Arthur in. He could give like low grade power. Makes all the little Christmas tree LED lights in your science lab.
Well, he's going to be there recording anyway, so why not?
Yeah. Has it got like the lunchbox case that has the picture of like the Arcanian dad with the white hair and the white eyes and the Arcanian son with the white hair and the white eyes and, 3-finger friendly. Young
No, I left that one at home.
Young scientist kit. All right. So once you get this set up, I'm assuming gear equipment bonuses are going to be coming into your universe?
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully. Can you state any?
That's the idea. Yeah, hold on. I'll get the information of them.
All right. So while you're doing that, Old Man's in.
Yeah.
Sorry, Old Man River couldn't make it. We have you.
Old Man River.
Old Man's in. Recently contemplating reaching out on the HaloNet, sending a message. Now, if you do send a message out, it's going to be tracked by the captain. Like, it's going to pop up, message being sent. So you might be asked about that later. I'm curious if you would use your own contacts to verify this information or play a hunch, or, does this interest you at all? Or do you find, let's get in ahead. We've been playing with all these characters except you for several episodes. Let's get in the old man's mind here for a minute. Do you find this Jedi hunt, this Jedi purge in bad taste? What's your view of them during the war? What's your view of this cultish religion / propaganda the Empire putting down, blaming them for all the problems the war dragged on? What's your character's take on all this?
He would see the extermination of the Jedi as pretty much a power grab by the Empire. So he's, he doesn't care one way or the other.
Okay, so they were
whether or not
they're an established powerful faction. The other powerful faction's wiping them out. To you, it's a regular Tuesday in the space lanes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's not quite, truly mercenary. I mean, he is kind of a, fight for the right cause every now and again, as long as it pays.
So,
but he's not going to go out of his way to, to make a buck.
Oh, okay.
He's not, 100% mercenary at heart.
All right. And if the wrong cause pays better?
He would really have to think about how wrong that cause was.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let you sit and think. And if you can't sit and think here, there's a bathroom attached to your room. Right here. Because, that's where a lot of people sit and think. Because there is... I got to say there's more than a hunch going on here. There is some supportive evidence. What you've seen, what you've experienced with the young Cerillian.
Yeah, he definitely
Sarian.
Thank you. Sarian.
He definitely has an idea. I mean, at this point in his life, he's probably seen a Jedi or two, if not up close and personal, then in the distance enough to kind of go, yeah, if I can't explain it, it's probably Jedi powers or Jedi magic running around. But really, from his experience, those who stay away from the Jedi are usually pretty much better off.
They're trouble magnets, especially in this day
They
and
are
age.
trouble magnets, yes, sir.
Okay.
And so right now he's going to try to determine what the course is, where we're going to land, what we can expect when we get there, and just kind of do some data mining. And not probe too deeply as to erase any kind of suspicion. Just what's free and easily accessible.
All right. Now, so far, these guys were just a way out. Your last crew, led by Commander Leopard, who was prancing around the promenade, selling his image and talking about how he favored, didn't do so well this time around because the Empire has a strong presence here and they're getting a lot of anti-alien sentiments going on. And actually, you watched him being carted away, doing a whole bunch of, do you know who I am? That kind of thing. Time for a new crew, right? Cut your losses, got your gun, fell in with these guys. Now you're in a luxury yacht. It actually is yacht in the description. The ship that you're on is called the Banshee, and it is an actual, for lack of a better term, a space yacht, or a yacht-class vessel. The Banshee, as pictured here. Can you guys see this? The Banshee is a colossal sized, as far as D&D size, colossal size space transport, and it is a Bandu class. Picking you all up here in the Bandu class is what I was really going for. I have a lovely picture of the Banshee. It's just lovely. I showed it to you guys once. I'm hoping you could just pull it out of the here for the poly. Yellow and golden tan colored, the cockpit underneath the bow, 2 huge engines. And this thing is decent. It only needs a crew of 2. It can hold 8 passengers, has a cargo capacity of 35 tons. It can hold a month of consumables, which means it can basically crew people for a month before you guys have to go with, well, I don't know, fuel, but definitely food and, empty the poop tank and all that kind of thing. Doesn't carry any smaller craft. And then you get into hyperdrive. Now, we are currently heading into a hyperspace lane, and when you kick in the hyperdrive, you get that elongated star effect, that let's go to warp kind of thing. In the game, we have sort of a space light ratio of it takes X amount of time, hours, days, months, what have you, to get from point A, let's say Brent Hall and Zelzon Station, to following the hyperspace lanes, which are cleared and faster to travel, just like an actual mega highway, to get off at the right part and go to Elderon. So many days, so many hours, so many whatever, right? On a ship, it'll say a hyperdrive modifier. So she has a hyperdrive modifier of ×2, which is a decent engine. So a regular ship goes X amount of speed, her ×2 modifier takes twice as long. So something that takes an hour takes us 2. It's still a pretty fast engine, okay? A regular engine or a jacked up engine has a ×1, okay? The Millennium Falcon that always was talking about the Kessel Run actually had a 0.5 hyperdrive. It would burn out, but it would actually take half the time as combat or game listed to get anywhere. So compared to the Millennium Falcon, this is, we go from a 0.5 to a ×2. Basically, it's 4 times as slow, or the Millennium Falcon is 4 times faster than us. Now, if the sucker breaks down, everyone has a backup engine. Otherwise, you could be marooned way out in space with nothing but standard engines to push you along, and it could take a lifetime to get home. So a lot of these ships are required by law, or if they're smart, just actually have a backup hyperdrive. And you ever go fishing, or you ever see those fishing boats, and they have the big motor and then they have the little motor? The little motor is usually for trolling, just to move along quietly or slowly, or a backup engine. But the engine that this spaceship has is a ×7 backup. It's I hope you're not going anywhere. It'll get you there, and you're not going to die of old age, but it's certainly not an engine you want to rely on, only for emergencies. So, that being said, these ships go for 400,000 credits new, and you could probably buy this one from somebody since it's used for 250,000 credits. Has a double light laser cannon that can be controlled in the cockpit for combat. So it's not like a complete civilian ship. It can shoot at things But this thing is certainly not a tank. It's certainly not designed for combat. It's designed for luxury. You have large cabinet space. You have carpet everywhere. Doors that, don't lock and have nice little paintings on the walls and, have a nice day on the toilet paper and stuff. And everybody has their own bathroom. There are like 4 or 5 bathrooms on this ship, usually referred to as the head. Most ships have one, so it's elegant, it's fast, it's sporty, it's a Cadillac, it's not a Ferrari, but, 5 bathrooms, guys. Like that alone, definitely might be a good idea to try and keep our captain in the good books.
Dr. Leth, can you come out here? I need a translator.
Buy one.
And don't call me on this channel again, I'm working. Sorry. Was that all you say, or would you add to anything else?
The doctor is...
I'm a bit busy at the moment. If there's something you need, come to me.
Got it.
There's the doctor we know and love to hate out of necessity of his skill set. Okay.
That son of a bitch.
No, he comes, he follows along. Tempting. You imagine that entire conversation being,
Dude, you're in my spot. Hold my beer. Dude, you're in my spot.
get more and more fussy. You're looking down at your lap, not your guitar.
You're in my spot, man.